I've been reflecting a lot lately on my childhood and what it was about Pokemon that I loved so much as a kid. When I was younger, I was pretty picky when it came to video games. If I wasn't good at a game, I often didn't enjoy it. I have some incredibly deep and dark memories of Mario Sunshine. But Pokemon games were always different. I was never good at battling and I never really caught them all, but I still really enjoyed playing the game, specifically Pokemon Emerald, my first Pokemon game. And I think I enjoyed Pokemon so much because it's a game that you can make your own. I know a lot of games are like this, but Pokemon was the first one that really showed me it was possible. Yes, obviously there's a story to follow and a challenge to complete, but you can also just spend your time shiny hunting or making the game harder for yourself with challenge runs. Or you can make the game easier for yourself by just soloing the game with your level 100 Swampert, which is what I did. I also did a ton of exploration. That was always my favorite part about Pokemon Emerald, exploring the region and finding the secrets. And so in the year 2025, I really wanted to just step back and reflect on the Hoenn region and the nostalgia I have for it. As my channel has grown, I've been asked by commenters what my favorite region and Pokemon game is, and normally my answer is Pokemon Emerald. It's always been my favorite and I love the Hoenn region. But it's been a while since I've sat down and just played Generation 3 for myself. All alone, no stream watching me live, no challenge runs, nothing is modified. Just a plain, casual Gen 3 experience. I just want to replay Generation 3 like a kid again and make sure that Hoenn is still my answer whenever people ask me about my favorite region. It's the region that introduced me to the series and made me fall in love with Pokemon. But is it just the nostalgia, or I don't know, is Generation 3 the best gen? The only way to find out is to sit down, let go of adulthood for just a little bit, and play some Pokemon. And also be sure to subscribe if you wanna. That'd be cool. I decided to pick up my cartridge of Pokemon Sapphire for this playthrough. I've actually never properly played through Ruby and Sapphire, only Emerald. I know that Emerald is obviously the better choice here, but I really wanted to play Sapphire for the first time, and so I did. If you've been watching me for a little bit, then you know I enjoy shiny hunting a casual amount. And I firmly believe that all good Pokemon playthroughs start off with a shiny hunt. That is, if the starter isn't shiny locked or the cutscene isn't super long. So that is how I started the game. On December 30th, I booted up Pokemon Sapphire for the first time on stream to shiny hunt for not only my favorite starter of all time, but also my favorite Pokemon of all time, Mudkip. I love Mudkip. He is great, and Generation 3 really gave us some incredible starters overall. I normally chose water starters in my first playthroughs, but honestly, Torchic and Trico, they are solid. Big fan of Grovyle, if you know, you know. On January 1st, 2025, I got to ring in the new year with my first shiny Pokemon of the year, Sapphire. But if it's Ruby, it's Ruby. Ah! Shiny Poochyena! We got pooched. Yes, a shiny, uncatchable Poochyena. Don't know what that says for the year to come, but I am trying to remain positive. And it's fine because literally the next day on January 2nd, I found another shiny. 55% ad revenue from Turbo viewers. Interesting. Oh my god, shiny Mudkip!
What is your luck? That's crazy.
On my DS! Surely this is a good omen for 2025, right? So with my shiny Mudkip named Gatorade, I was ready to escape into the Hoenn region just like I did all those years ago. Like I mentioned earlier, I never really cared for battling or catching them all. Whenever I tell people in my life today about this, everybody always asks me the same question. What were you even doing when you were playing Pokemon? Like, how did you put hundreds of hours into a game where, you know, I ignored everything the game encouraged me to do? And as I replayed through Hoenn, I think I slowly started to realize it was Hoenn's people and diverse environment full of secrets that always kept me coming back. I love the trainer running around on Route 104 in the sand, leaving footprints behind on the beach. And this beach is the first beach we get to experience in Hoenn and serves as a little window that'll give us a peek into what's to come with the region. And when you talk to the fisherman sitting on the beach, he lets us know that there's maybe more to explore within Hoenn's deep waters. Petalburg Woods is the first encounter with Team Aqua, and I just think it's super cool to have 2 different teams in Generation 3, although experiencing them in Emerald is definitely peak. And as I made my way through to Restboro City, I remember just how iconic not only the ocean is in Hoenn, but also just the bodies of water in general. I love the puddles on the ground and seeing our reflection in the water. It's clear that water is a very dominant part of the region. Thankfully, Roxanne's gym was, a breeze for me and Mudkip. I plan on soloing the entire game with this shiny Kip, just like I did when I was a kid. Of course, I'm gonna let Mudkip evolve, but I really want that authentic childhood experience of just soloing a game with my starter. It's been a really long time since I've done that.
What? 2 potions. I think we evolve here. Alright, first gym badge, easy. Didn't even save in front of her. Huge power move. Oh my god! Okay, goodbye Mudkip. Goodbye, shiny Mudkip. I enjoyed my time. It was short, but it was sweet. And now we got a little awkward Marshtomp.
After getting my first gym badge, I made my way to Resturf Tunnel to deal with Team Aqua and rescue Pico the Wingull for Mr. Briny. I love the commentary the workers and the tunnelers' rest house bring to the game, making it clear to us that these people care about the place that they live in and the Pokemon that inhabit it. Quote, "At first we had a huge work crew boring through rock with the latest machinery, but we had to stop. It turns out that we would have had a negative effect on wild Pokemon in the area." End quote. Quote, "There's a man digging his way to Verdant Turf all by his lonesome. He's desperate to get through. He says if he digs little by little without using machines, he won't disturb Pokemon and he'll avoid harming the natural environment." End quote. The Hoenn region has so many different vast environments, making it one of the most interesting regions in my opinion. So of course it's important to educate yourself and take care of the environment and be cautious of how humans can affect it. And I appreciate how vocal the game's NPCs are about this. It really makes me miss when NPCs had interesting things to say in Pokemon games. After grabbing a letter for the mysterious Steven Stone and reuniting Pico with Mr. Briny, he lets us hop onto his boat and set seas for Dewford, the town with one of my favorite Pokemon songs of all time. Once again, there are so many hidden gems in this town, like the hip and happening trendy sayings trainer to the left. Back when Twitter wasn't bad, I used to follow this account that would post a new trendy saying every single day, and I had post notifications on for that account, and that account only for all of my years on Twitter.
Can't get over how incredible the shiny Marshtomp's back sprite looks. It looks so cool. That looks so cool. I'm just not used to seeing the Marshtomp back sprite, I guess. But yeah, it's pretty incredible.
Another thing I noticed when talking to Hoenn NPCs is how much they appreciate the sea, which makes sense since it is such a big part of the Hoenn region. I really love the dialogue that this woman has to say in Dewford. And later in the game, a lot of NPCs will mention the sea and how important it is to them and to take care of it.
All right, I'm a little worried about this one. We'll see. Oh God. No, stop it. Stop it. Please stop it. No more, no more. Oh. Girl. I'm using only Marshtomp. I have to reset. Just crit. Okay, I think we're good. Yippee.
After beating Brawly on definitely my first try, I made my way to the bustling city of Slateport. I love this cutscene while we are sailing to the next city because it's a big sneak peek for the adventure that is yet to come. Sailing by a bunch of trainers, islands, and of course the iconic abandoned ship. I think I'm super nostalgic for Slateport because I grew up in a super small rural town and I never really went to the beach on vacation when I was young. So Slateport's beach is kind of the first beach I really ever went to as a kid. So I'm just really fond of this beach and the escapism it provided me. We get another NPC comment on the environment from the old man on the right side of the beach.
Want a tip for battling? I'd say it's raising different kinds of Pokemon in a balanced manner. It's no good to just make one Pokemon strong. If it has a type disadvantage, it might not stand a chance. Listen, you've not met Gatorade. You have no idea Gatorade's capabilities. You just don't know. You just don't get it.
Also, I love this Team Aqua grunt. He's so funny.
Making me have to pay $50 to go into this museum that is like actively being robbed or invaded or I don't know, man, it's insane.
After taking care of Team Aqua at the museum, we meet Archie, whose love for the sea is a little bit more intense than most of the inhabitants of the Hoenn region. This man really wants to expand the sea, and that is what he and Team Aqua intend to do. Obviously, this plotline seems silly because, you know, it is, but during this replay, I decided to look more into the Isahaya Bay Land Reclamation Project, which is what the Gen 3 story is likely referencing, and I had a lot of fun watching some videos and reading some articles and learning more about this history, but I don't really plan on talking too much about this because I feel like there are already great videos that touch on this history, specifically the one made by Tamahiro. Replaying this game in 2025, almost 23 years later since its original release in Japan, was really interesting since this game's general theme on the importance of balance with nature is very, very relevant today. There's a lot to explore in Slateport City with the giant market, the Oceanic Museum, and the introduction of Pokemon contests. Because Pokemon Emerald was my first Pokemon game, my introduction to contests was later in the game in Lily Cove City. So we'll save my discussion for Pokemon contests a little later. For now, I made my way up north of Slateport and I was immediately greeted by one of my favorite silly little Gen 3 buildings, the Trick House. I loved the Trick House as a kid. The puzzles always kind of felt like additional gyms, and you get cool items for completing whatever the Trick Master has in store, like a rare candy or a smoke ball. It's a super fun little pit stop between Slateport and Mauville that I really enjoy. Another mini pit stop between the two cities is this iconic rival fight under the cycling road. I appreciate so much how memorable the rival fights are in Generation 3. Whenever I think about rivals in Pokemon games, I always think about this fight because of the difficulty in Greece. For me personally, I think Brendan and May have some of the most iconic rival fights, right alongside Silver and Gary.
Oh god. I might not be ready for this. Should I maybe like lower his accuracy or something here? I think Mudslap does that, right? Okay. Maybe that'll help here. Good lord, why is this hitting harder? Oh my god! Oh my god, wait, we gamed. Holy, got so lucky. Where the hell did Brendan get a Wailmer from? Alright, with a single shiny Marshtomp, I was still able to pull off a victory out of just pure luck. Pure luck.
I love that after the battle, Brendan flexes on us with his bike, demonstrating that, you know, yeah, he lost, but it's fine because he'll always be one step ahead of us. Oh, Mauville City, such a fun city that serves as the heart of Hoenn. Anytime anybody asks me why I'm not the biggest fan of Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, I always just mention Mauville City. They destroyed my girl. Oh, this guy! This guy on the left, he's weird. I'm the storyteller. I'll tell you tales of legendary trainers where you hear my tale. But I know of no legendary trainers, hence I know no tales. Where does one find a trainer worthy of a legendary tale? Are you a trainer? Have you any tales that are remotely legendary? You saved the game 29 times? Okay, chill. Chill with that call out. I haven't really touched on Wally yet, but I really do love Wally as a character and as an additional rival slash friend to the player, although I don't really view him as a rival. But it kind of feels like Gen 3 was like, you know, here are two evil teams and two rivals. Enjoy. I always wish we got a little bit more about Wally's story, but I kind of love that as the player, we only fight Wally once in front of the Mauville City Gym and then in Victory Road right at the end of the game. We get to see his Ralts all grown up, and it's just this really sudden, drastic change. We can clearly see Wally is no longer the meek, small trainer he used to be whenever we battled him first. And I know I was literally just hating on Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, but Wally's theme during the Victory Road battle is incredible. It is probably one of my favorite trainer themes of all time. So underrated. It's so good. Watson's fight was obviously stupid easy with Marshtomp, and with Cleffa on my lap, Marshtomp mudshot his way to an easy victory, helping me secure my 3rd gym badge. I decided to go west before progressing more in the story to Verdanturf Town. I helped reunite the Verdanturf couple and talk to Wally's family who lives here. I love that Wally just wants to be a great trainer. Not the best, not the strongest, just a great trainer. Wally is a good egg. After I explored Verdanturf, I headed up north to battle the Winstraight family. Whenever I was a kid, beating this entire family in battle back to back made me feel really accomplished, so for good old time's sake, I had to battle them again. I genuinely think that winning against this family instilled some confidence in me when I was a kid, despite the fact that, I was just using my starter, but, still wholesome. Some NPCs I really enjoy in the Hoenn region are Gabby and Tai, who you can battle in certain areas of Hoenn and give them an interview after your battle. And you can watch these interviews on TV, which was one of my favorite features in Hoenn, the television. I just love how interactive the TV becomes in Gen 3 and Gen 4, and I was always so excited to see it flashing. There's a lot of cool stuff to watch on the TV besides interviews with Gabby and Tai, like a show that lets the player know when a swarm of Pokemon is swarming, or when there's a rare rooftop clearance sale on top of Lily Cove's department store. TV is awesome. There were a bunch of trainers to battle as I made my way to the next city, and Gatorade ended up evolving.
My god, he looks crazy. The eyeballs. Wow.
I ran through a really fun route in Hoenn, Route 113, and all of the volcanic ash. My neighborhood friends and I used to try and write and draw pictures in the ash whenever we were kids. I met Team Magma inside Meteor Falls. It's kind of weird because it feels like we're on the same side as them, trying to stop Team Aqua from drowning Hoenn. Meteor Falls is another example of just how the Hoenn region's environment has so much to offer. It's just so beautiful in there, and we haven't even seen half of the Hoenn region yet. I followed Team Aqua up to Mount Chimney, the active volcano in the Hoenn region and the cause of all of the ash sprinkling Route 113's grass. I battled Archie. Team Aqua fled from the volcano.
I think something that I really respect about Pokemon Sapphire and just not even Sapphire, just the Hoenn region in general, is how unique all of the towns feel. Don't get me wrong, some of the towns are quite boring. Odale Town, what's happening there? Petalburg, not much going on, but a lot of these towns have just iconic landmarks or just something about them that makes them really, really unique. Even though Lava Ridge is super tiny, it has this really cool hot springs. Fall Arbor Town even is, surrounded by ash and is very space meteorite kind of vibes. Lily Cove is this giant shopping kind of town, an artsy district area with the ocean just right there. Slateport is really cool because it's this beach town. Each town is super unique, and there's so much when it comes to the environment in the Hoenn region. There is an active volcano and then you get to explore underwater. There's beaches, there's a rainforest, there's just so much going on. I just love the Hoenn region.
I think Lava Ridge is a super nostalgic town for me. It is just so memorable, and it really got me thinking about the Hoenn region and how much I appreciate all of the towns. And in that little clip, I didn't even mention cities like Fortree or Sutopolis, some of the most iconic cities in the game. The Hoenn region's environment is just really cool and unique. I know I'm a broken record here, but I really do love the region and how all the people acknowledge this and how they're all so aware of how important it is to protect it. And that makes the stakes even higher when it comes to defeating Team Aqua and Team Magma. Flannery has always been one of my favorite gym leaders because I see a lot of myself in her, even as an adult. She's just a girl trying to be someone she's not. And not to get too real here, but this is something I have struggled with not only as a young girl, but also as a woman and finding my place in the world. I don't know what I'm doing half the other time, and it's just difficult, and I relate, Flannery. I hope you were able to figure it out.
Good evening, Torkoal. How are you doing, Queen? Oh, God.
While I was playing through my copy of Sapphire, I was going through a bunch of random things in my personal life, like my cats getting fleas for the first time. So while we waited in the car with the cats because we had an exterminator spraying our house, I got some gaming in.
Recording in the car with Miss Kleppis. Kleppa.
Norman's gym fight for me is one of the most memorable gym fights because of slacking. I love that this gym really tries to teach the player about strategy, which was nice as a kid who was so focused on just hitting hard and using one Pokemon. After I secured my 5th gym badge, I did some exploring before committing to the trek to Fortree City. I never realized just how many Magnemite there are to battle in this game. Seriously, every trainer in Hoenn has a Magnemite, and it is just giving me flashbacks to Safari Week, and it's awful.
She has another Magnemite!
While I was hanging around Mauville City, Adef really wanted to show off his Mach Bike movement to you all, so here is that.
So, you're trying to get no collisions and a fast time?
I'm trying to tie the world record.
What is the world record?
9.15.
9.15 seconds?
Yes, it is as fast as you can go.
Okay, I was about to ask, can it be beaten?
No. So based on my understanding is that the way the game times you, you literally can't go faster than 9.15 is my understanding. Even using tool assisted, like a TAS, if people know what a TAS is, you can't go faster than 9.15.
Okay.
Which I have tied. I have done it once or twice.
Let's
maybe.
see it.
I did it, I think. No! It's because I took the longer route through the middle section. Damn.
That was good though, no collisions.
Second try, 9.3.
You said it was
9.15, yeah, is the record. And you can tie it. Many people, just practice it for like 20, 30 minutes and you can tie the world record. You can become a tied world record holder on the cycle path with the Mach Bike. That might be it.
Yes!
Nice!
Yippee!
Yippee, world record.
I have so many fond memories of biking around Hoenn and zooming up and down the cycling road. But after that incredible bicycle lesson, it was time to make my way to Fortree City, running into Steven on the way. The journey leading up to Fortree is very nostalgic for me. It is an incredibly long stretch full of cool Pokemon encounters, trainers, and of course the Weather Institute story beat. I also remember Tropius being a Pokemon that made me do a double take as a kid. I took on Admin Shelly in the Weather Institute where Team Aqua was posted up, and Shelly has such an iconic sprite and outfit. Honestly, I think she is why I prefer Team Aqua over Team Magma. This outfit alone. I grabbed my cast form as my little reward for defeating Team Aqua, and I continued my journey.
Brendan and May just want to battle at like the worst times. This has to kill, thank God. What an interesting little team he has. Very weird and small team.
After battling Brendan, I made my way into Fortree City. This is, again, iconic Hoenn City because treehouses. I love revisiting video games as an adult and discovering new things. Like, for example, I obviously knew about the hidden Kecleon in front of Winona's gym. You gotta, battle it to beat the game, but I had no idea that there were other hidden Kecleon around this route as well, and I only learned this recently during a Last to Leave with Purple Cliff. I know Steven literally tells us, who knows, maybe there are other concealed Pokemon, but yeah, I've never realized that. Back in Fortree, I finally took on Winona, who has such an awesome Hoenn team, and this was the last gym badge I got while I was filming in my car.
Wow! Gatorade. Okay, not too bad.
Route 120 is my favorite route in the Hoenn region. One of my favorite features in the game is being able to see your reflection in the water. It's just so special. It brings me back to the first time we got to see our reflection in Petalburg City's pond waters, and it's just a nice reminder of how far we've come since seeing our reflection for the first time. There are also just so many hidden secrets on this route and trainers to fight. They could never make me hate you, Route 120. When I was younger, I used this area a lot for secret base hideouts, another incredible feature of Gen 3.
Surely this secret base spot is good. If it's hidden away behind Cut, has to be.
My sister and I used to decorate our secret bases all the time, but we didn't have a Game Link cable, so we just kind of pretended like we were visiting each other's bases. I really think the secret base feature is a big reason why the Hoenn region feels like home to me and is so nostalgic. My secret base was literally my own little home that I got to decorate and choose for myself. It wasn't my room inside a house, it was mine. It was all mine. Maybe it's wishful thinking, but I'm really hopeful that we see more secret bases in the future. The Hoenn region really said, okay, let me give you some iconic towns and cities back to back to back near the end game. Going from Fortree to Lily Cove to Moss Deep to Sutopolis, they are all so good. But okay, I hear you. I can understand why some people may find Lily Cove City boring, or I don't know, just not much going on, not very memorable because there isn't a gym. But I think that Lily Cove City is the city I spent most of my time in as a kid. And that was mainly because of the contest hall in Pokemon Emerald. And there are also just a lot of other interesting places and events in Lily Cove. For starters, I love the museum and how fancy it is inside. And there are a lot of cool features that affect the museum. And as I'm writing the script, I am realizing that I probably could ramble about Lily Cove for so long that I'm probably just gonna make my own video about why I love Lily Cove City so much. After the trip down memory lane in Lily Cove, I made my way to Mount Pyre, where the song that plays here, certified Gen 3 banger. At the top of Mount Pyre, an old couple guards the red orb and the blue orb. Archie steals the red orb from the couple with intentions to awaken Kyogre, but bro got the wrong orb. He had a 50-50 between the red and blue orb, so I don't know. Can you blame him? Because the blue orb and the red orb must never be separated, the old woman gives me the orb and tasks me with reuniting the two orbs.
I love that she just vibe checks me and she's like, yeah, fine. Sure, this child can save the world. Probably.
After Archie cleverly revealed to me that he is literally heading to Slateport, I traveled back to the seaport town where Captain Stern was being interviewed on TV about his seafloor discoveries, specifically about an underwater cave on Route 128. While we've had access to surf since our 5th badge, I hadn't done a lot of ocean exploring yet, but Captain Stern hints to us that that's what we should do next. When I was a kid, however, immediately when I got the Surf HM, the first thing I did was surf everywhere, especially on Route 105 and 106 around Dewford. I know that the amount of water is a lot of people's favorite thing to complain about when it comes to the Hoenn region. I get it, it's a lot of water, but I've always viewed it as it's water that you get to explore and it's not in the way. Sure, navigating it can be annoying sometimes, but I just love being able to dive deeper underwater and explore areas on the ocean like the abandoned ship. I don't know, I just really love Hoenn's water. But back in Slateport, Archie has taken over Captain Stern's submarine inside the Slateport harbor. So we make our way to Lily Cove. T-Moqua's hideout. It is now ready to be explored. I gotta be real here, I forgot to grab the Master Ball. That is 100% my bad. And I won't even realize it until much later. But T-Moqua's hideout is super fun, probably due to the absolute banger of a song playing in the background. After battling Admin Matt, we were too late and the submarine got away. So it's time to ocean explore. While I surfed, I checked out every single island and every single house on the sea for any hidden secrets, just like I did when I was a kid. It was very, very nostalgic to revisit Hoenn's water. I made it to Moss Deep, home of the most iconic gym leaders in the Hoenn region, Tate and Liza. Oh, and Steven is here. Steven gives us dive, and I continue to explore Moss Deep and talk to NPCs. These coastal town residents sure do love the ocean. Walking into Tate and Liza's gym was a bit of a shock because I am so used to the Emerald Gym puzzle, but thankfully this puzzle is easier, but honestly I still kind of struggled with it, but I got to Tate and Liza and their team was no match for Gatorade.
Do these affect them? I think they have levitate. What?
Now, I know I just mentioned how much I love surfing around the water in Hoenn, and I do, but I always manage to get lost when trying to find the cave for the submarine. I almost always end up just going to Sootopolis first, which is exactly what I did here. Can't be too mad getting lost in Hoenn when the dive music or the Sootopolis music is playing, though.
I love that you can see, like, I guess, like, the clouds. The clouds reflected there. It's just, I don't know, man. Diving is so cool in Gen 3. It's very, very neat. Alright, now I have a Pokemon with strength. We're so back.
I remember when I was a kid, these strength puzzles really had me doing brain blasts, trying to access the intelligence locked deep within my brain so that I could push these boulders correctly. And huge news, even in my adulthood, I struggled.
Oh god. Cleffa, I'm fighting for my life right now. You gotta get out of here.
Deep within the seafloor cavern, Kyogre was taking a little nap. We battle Archie one last time, and Archie uses his red orb to cause Kyogre to literally teleport vertically off of the screen. This cutscene is so funny to me. After Kyogre is awakened, a downpour begins on the east side of Hoenn, threatening to drown the region, and Maxie is pissed. The drama is real. I like how awkward it is to just be standing here between Maxie and Archie. We really just stand there. Also, where could they possibly be running off to? Back in Sootopolis, it was time to get some answers from Wallace, the 8th gym leader, who I'm used to seeing as the champion in Hoenn. I had a level 100 Swampert as a kid with the moves Surf, Waterfall, Dive, and Strength. And I can't even tell you how many attempts it took me to beat Wallace's team. I wasn't using any items besides max potions, and I had no other Pokemon to switch to, and I probably also only had like 10 PP on strength left. I wish so badly there was footage of me as a kid finally beating Wallace after weeks of attempts, because my luck simply had to have been insane or something. I don't know. All I know is it took me a long time. Anyway, back to the present. With our blue orb in hand, I made my way inside the Cave of Origin, and because I'm so used to Emerald, I had no idea I was about to just catch Kyogre right now.
Do you get to encounter Kyogre again in the post-game? Because I don't have a Master Ball.
I think I was just expecting Kyogre to leave or something. I don't know, but I don't have a Master Ball, but that's okay. Because back when I was a kid, I don't think I ever used my Master Ball. I was always too scared to use it. I just hoarded it always until the moment seemed right and the Pokemon seemed rare enough, and I don't think that moment really ever happened for me.
I guess I'm so used to Emerald where you have the cutscene and stuff, and then like you catch Rayquaza after the game, you know? I just was not ready for this. I wasn't ready. Also, I want to shiny hunt Kyogre one day, and I don't want to have to like do all this again. I mean, I guess I will probably want to do this all again in the future, but I just assumed that like after you beat the game, maybe you could see Kyogre again. I don't know. We'll see. We'll figure it out. We're just gonna throw more balls. So true, Castform. Damn. Tell me how you really feel. Oh my god, can you even imagine if it had caught? Can you even imagine? On my last Pokemon.
It took me a few tries to catch Kyogre.
Oh my god, I caught it with Zigzagoon. If you can even believe it. Zigzagoon the goat. My HM friend. Let's go.
but it was a lot of fun. It reminded me of whenever I was a kid and would watch Let's Plays of Pokemon games on my iPod Touch. If I'm remembering correctly, I think a lot of Let's Players wouldn't use their Master Ball just because it was more fun that way. And thinking about this got me thinking about how I would never be where I am today if it weren't for watching Let's Plays on YouTube whenever I was in middle school. Through these Let's Plays, I found Pokemon YouTubers, which eventually led me into Twitch and streaming for myself. And now, here we are all these years later. I often think about my younger self and what she would possibly think about my life today. I genuinely think she would be in awe and also really excited at the fact that I'm still playing Pokemon and that it's become such an important part of my life. I wasn't expecting catching Kyogre to cause me to have such a deep thought spiral on how important Pokemon is in my life, but here we are. Thank you, Dad, for buying me that copy of Pokemon Emerald all those years ago. I love leaving the Cave of Origin, and it's just sunny now, and the incredible Sootopolis music is cheery and bright, as if the Hoenn region wasn't just about to drown. And now it's time to close out this journey and get the final gym badge.
Alright, let's see if I can first try this. Ice puzzle? I'm a little nervous. I don't know. Feel like I maybe already messed up. Oh wait, is it different than in Emerald? I think it is. Okay, yeah, then I'm absolutely unless it's not. Everybody hold. Okay, I think it's definitely different. At least I think maybe I'm just thinking of like the Oras puzzle or something, because it's definitely different than what I remember. At least for maybe it's different than I don't know. I think I've gotten it right. Yeah, okay. Do they just flip it in Emerald? I don't know, man. Muscle memory really got me there, though.
I went into Wallace's gym confident, but the Ruby and Sapphire ice puzzles are actually different compared to Emerald, so I did not first try this like I thought I was going to, but I eventually got there.
Cleffa, I know you're not just gonna sit, right? Are you kidding me? Are you joking me? Cleffa, what are you doing?
And with Gatorade's Earthquakes, the rain badge was mine. Before I made my way to the Elite Four, I did a ton of exploring around the water. In the Hoenn region specifically, I battled a lot of trainers and did some underwater exploration. I also backtracked to the abandoned ship.
Why is there a child?
Is this Ice Beam? I came here for Ice Beam. It is nice. This is just like such a cool thing to explore. Like, what do you mean?
Oftentimes in video games today, I don't do enough backtracking or exploring. It was something I just did way more often as a kid, and I think that just had to do with the fact that I was a kid stuck in a small town. While I was a young girl living in the middle of nowhere in Georgia, the Hoenn region was different. I was an underwater explorer, exploring caves, ships, cities built on logs. Truly, Pokemon Emerald made me feel like a proper explorer. And something about video games is I feel like we all have, that one game that really made us feel like an explorer and helped us escape from the real world for a little bit.
Nice. Can we fly from the abandoned ship? Yeah, I'm assuming we can escape rope since we were given one. Ooh, wait, I don't know which one I want. Hold on. Everybody hold. I think I want Huntail more. We'll do the tooth. Yippee!
I made sure to visit Pacifilog mainly to see if Mirage Island was in view. It wasn't, but would have been crazy. Would have been crazy.
Where did you come from? And these are my options? Yes Town? I've never heard of a place like that. No, that doesn't make any sense. You have to come from somewhere. You're not gonna say you were born at the bottom of the sea? What is that interaction? What was that all about? Would love to know.
I know for a lot of people, Evergrande City, it's not much. It's not very memorable, and it serves literally one purpose, to be the location of Victory Road and the Elite Four. But when I was a kid, Evergrande City was a city I spent a lot of time in just because of how much I loved the music. I talked about this with Cianwood in my Pokemon Gold video, and Evergrande City is the exact same feeling for me. It's a city I would fly to and just let the music play on my Game Boy SP while I was sitting in my room. I love the flowers and how bright and colorful it is. It's an exciting feeling making it to the end game, and I think Evergrande City does a great job of capturing that excitement. So now that I've finally made it to Victory Road and the Elite Four, I think it's a good time to answer the question I asked at the start of this video. Is Generation 3 the best? Is it my favorite? Or was it just the nostalgia? And honestly, I think that both are true. I love Generation 3 and it's my favorite gen for different reasons than why it may be your favorite generation, simply because of nostalgia, and I think that's cool. I love that we all have our own games that we associate memories with or specific periods of our lives with, and I think we are super lucky to be able to reminisce on that. For me, games like Pokemon Sapphire provide a deep sense of comfort that not only helps me escape from the world a little bit, but also helps me reflect on just how far I've come since I was a young girl.
Okay, I'm gonna try the Elite Four. We'll see. I'm a little worried about not having enough PP, because like all of my moves only have 10 PP for some reason. Don't really know what to use here. Well, I did not mean to use Ice Beam. Okay. One down. Well, listen to what this loser has to say. Girl, you need some confidence. Just gonna use my soda pops that I got in Slateport on the beach, like at the beginning of the game. Don't mind me. I already have like 0 PP on all of my moves, and then bitches like Bayonet come in with their moves like Spite and ruin my day. This is the worst thing to ever happen to me. I hate the move Spite. So annoying. Sableye! Oh my god. Greatest day of my life. I can't believe I did this as a kid. I mean, I guess it makes sense that I was able to do it with a level 100 Swampert. It's probably pretty easy. I also definitely had all HMs on my Swampert. Like, I didn't have a single good move on my Swampert. His moveset was definitely Surf, Dive, Waterfall, and then like probably Strength or something. Honestly, maybe even Cut if we're keeping it real. I don't know if Mudkip can learn that, but if he can, my Swampert knew that for sure. Oh god, this guy is probably levitating, right? He's got no legs. I'll Earthquake, but I don't know if it's gonna work. Okay, it works. This might be hard. I feel like I remember like a lot of her Pokemon are like just water type, right? Another one! Girl. I'm a little nervous for Steven. Maybe I shouldn't be, but I don't know. His levels are gonna be so high. I have 1 Earthquake left already. Jesus. I have no PP for anything. Frozen! Girl, be so for real. That's fine. I could just stay frozen, honestly. Okay. I remember as a kid thinking this was it. This was my final guy. Walking into I played Emerald first, so walking into Wallace's room and just being like, what the hell is going on? Very iconic. I may regret not refilling my Ice Beams, but let's just try it. We cannot let this diva set up. Thank God. Ooh, the crit! I wonder if that was a one-shot without it. Okay, this king. Everything was one shot. Wow. Easiest one of the 4. Which is crazy. Hilarious. Poppin, what are you doing? Hey, bud. So cool. I remember loving that as a kid, the little lights. Just a good touch. This is my first time battling Steven as the champion. He's just such a good champion. Why did they make it Wallace and Emerald? Is this Diva grass type? I don't remember. No, it's rock, right? I don't remember. Okay. We're in trouble here. Poison is gonna kill me. Okay, this was a classic tried and true that I did as a kid. I would send out like whatever my HM friend was at the time and hit it with that revive. I should have just full restored, but whatever. Alright, cast form, rest in pieces. You did your best. Was not expecting Cradily to be the... Oh, a crit! That's huge. Legend. Can I earthquake you or are you weird? Oh, wow. Okay, that should be with the reflect down. Metagross is so cool! Isn't he bug type as well or something? Hold on. I don't know. Alright. Not bad at all. That is my first ever playthrough of Pokemon Sapphire.
I understand when people say it can be harmful to, constantly long for our childhood, but I think that reflecting on how far I've come is what really helps me snap out of being completely stuck in the past. It's exciting to see how different my life has become since I last played Generation 3, and in a world with so much uncertainty, it's okay to embrace nostalgia every once in a while, because those memories remind me of how lucky I am, not just to have Pokemon and all of these fond memories as a part of my life, but also to just be alive, grow older, and move forward.